There's a lot to consider before moving abroad: how the transfer will change your daily life and influence your family, whether healthcare will meet your needs, and what it means for your emotional well-being and bank account, for starters. Well, global financial services company HSBC, which knows a thing or two about expats' concerns, is here to help. The company just released the results of its annual Expat Explorer survey. The questions, sent to more than 22,000 expats around the world, and the resulting rankings were separated into 3 overarching categories, or leagues: family, experience, and economics, and all of them were considered when compiling the overall rankings. Here, counting down from 10, are the best countries in the world to live in as an expat. United Arab Emirates. Only about 11% of the people living in the oil-rich United Arab Emirates are actually Emirati nationals. The vast majority of people who call Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or one of the other 5 Emirates home are from elsewhere. While most of these residents are from South and Southeast Asia, having come to the Gulf to take jobs in construction yards or as domestic workers, there are also the business people temporarily taking up residence in the Middle East's financial hub. While a representative of HSBC told us that the annual survey makes no distinction between migrant laborers and expat white-collar workers, suffice it to say, the latter group is likely the reason UAE makes an appearance on this list. In a place with zero, that's right, zero, income tax, these young professionals find they can make way more money here than back home. According to the survey, on average, 67% of the surveyed expats said they had seen a 40% increase in income, again, on average, since moving to the UAE. Add fattest wallets to the list of UAE superlatives. Taiwan. For expats in Taiwan, it's all about the experience. It placed third overall in that category, and we're not just talking about all that amazing street food. It can be hard turning a temporary posting into a home, but there's just something about Taiwan, where ancient tradition blends seamlessly with gleaming modernity, that makes that adjustment a little easier. In fact, a majority of respondents, 68% of them, said that they felt at home in less than a year, and almost 60% of them have stuck around for more than 5 years. Work hard, play hard seems to be a way of life in Taiwan, with 62% of expats reporting higher incomes than they had at home, and 51% saying they used those extra bucks to take more vacations. We approve. Switzerland. Streets so clean you can practically see your reflection in them, some of the world's best ski slopes just a train ride away, all that cheese. It's no surprise that Switzerland, where perfection is paramount, makes the cut. It's not just because everything works so well, though there is that. Only 1% of surveyed expats said they were concerned about the economy. Switzerland is home to 2 of the most expensive cities in the world, but paychecks reflect that cost of living. The average annual salary for expats in Switzerland is, are you ready for this question? $203,000, almost twice the average for the expats participating in HSBC's study. So money speaks when it comes to Switzerland's place on the table. It ranked first for economics, but there are other things going for it too, like education. Just over half of respondents with families said their kids were being treated to better schools than back home. Sweden. When making the decision to move overseas, there's more to consider than career prospects, especially if you're resettling with kids in tow. Not only are there emotional and psychological ramifications to bringing up your kids in a new culture, but also the dizzying logistics of navigating a new school or child care system. Unless you're in Sweden. When it comes to families, there's no better place than the Scandinavian nation, according to HSBC's survey. Almost 70% of Sweden-based expats say it's cheaper to raise kids there than at home. That's quite a jump from the global average of just 20%. It's not just about Krona though. With 480 days of parental leave and up to 120 days off a year to look after sick children, family takes priority over stone-faced productivity in Sweden, and those who move there clearly feel the difference. Australia. Yes, moving somewhere new can make you healthier. At least, that's what survey respondents in Australia suggest. More than half of those who have taken up residence down under report that their health is better, against a global average of just around 35%. About 3/4 of respondents said the natural environment, and access to it, is better than what's available at home, which logically translates to more time spent outdoors. Round of cricket, anyone? Bahrain. Perhaps this tiny island nation in the Arabian Gulf isn't the first place that comes to mind when you think of packing up the house for new beginnings, but Bahrain makes a strong showing this year, and a lot of it has to do with, you guessed it, money. Bahrain has, over the past few years, positioned itself as a regional financial hub, which translates to the 5th place spot in HSBC's economics ranking, displacing noted powerhouse Hong Kong. A full 48% of expats said their incomes are at least 50% higher than back home, and 80% say they've been able to save more and pay off outstanding debts because of the move. When it comes to wage growth, Bahrain takes the top spot. Canada. The only North American entry into the top 10, the US sits way down at number 23. Canada gets points for its open arms policy to newcomers. 70% said they felt it was easy to integrate into the culture. Of the 31 countries ranked in HSBC's study, Canada is ranked the most tolerant and welcoming to people of different races, genders, sexual orientations, and faiths. It's perhaps no wonder then that single expats often find more than just a new job upon moving to Canada. 57% say they've met their long-term partners there, versus the global average of just 48%. And we haven't even mentioned the natural beauty of the country yet. PSST. It's beautiful. Germany. Survey respondents had an overwhelmingly positive experience with expat life in Germany, especially when it comes to economic indicators, like the prospects of career advancement. 58% believe it's a good place for expats who want to progress their careers, and for the economy section overall, Germany comes in at a comfortable second place. But, stereotypes aside, it's not all about efficiency and productivity. A staggering 71% of transplants report a drastic improvement in work-life balance. No wonder it was once rated the best country in the world. New Zealand. New Zealand takes second place, largely due to its top spot in the experience section of the survey, which involved questions about the quality of day-to-day life, how easily expats have integrated into society, and the ease of finding accommodation and getting settled. In all those measurements, NZ comes out near the tops, as respondents report an easygoing, friendly environment, with the added benefit that from mountaineering to kayaking, there's just so much to see and do. 60% of expats in New Zealand said they moved to improve their quality of life, versus the global average of just 34%. Singapore. The city-state of Singapore is officially the best country in the world to live and work in as an expat, for the 4th year in a row. Education can be a major concern when traveling with kids, but not in Singapore, which takes first place when it comes to quality of schools and 5th overall in terms of family. The parents enjoy the move too, with an average salary bump of 29%. It's also easy to feel at home here, with 69% feeling settled in less than a year, and 95% saying Singaporeans were part of their social circles. So, it's got all those numbers going for it. But what about the katong laksa, chili crab, and char kway teow? Let's be real, the actual reason expats love Singapore so much lies within the culinary paradises of its hawker centers, right?